Good morning, Chicago sports fans. Welcome to another episode of Chi-Town Sports Central. It's your boy Big Kev in the building with Steve O Speaks and Q Ball. Hey, y'all already know what it is. We're going to get right into the topics. Chicago Bulls look good in a win last night. The Blackhawks look bad in a loss. Chicago Bears injury list got two names on it that we just didn't want to see. And we got Illinois versus Oregon, number one overall college football team. We got to talk about all of that right after the intro. All right. Chicago Sports Central back in the building. Y'all already know. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, as Bobby likes to say. And go ahead and comment down below on any of these topics that you want to comment on. If y'all missed it, man, we had NBA Central after hours last night. I can't even believe me and Steve-O are up to do this one, but it is what it is, baby. It's Call of Duty season. People don't sleep when Call of Duty come out.
Facts.
Hey, let's get right into it. The Chicago Bulls take care of business versus the doggone Milwaukee Bucks. Now, let me tell y'all, man, the Bulls went into the Milwaukee Bucks stadium last night, their home opener, mind you, and put belt to behind, bro. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was at work, of course, but I couldn't believe it. Kobe White put on the show. Zach LaVine put on the show. The rest of the guys, the others stepped up to the tune of 133 to 122. I believe the Chicago Bulls hit 23s, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, 20 for no, that was free throws. They hit 21 threes. That was crazy. You didn't see that type of stuff from the Chicago Bulls last year. Your boy Billy Donovan came into the season preaching pace. 14 seconds or less was their mantra, and they did it last night. Even Vucci Mane running up and down the court with those guys. Q, we're gonna come to you first since you rocking the Bulls hat. How did you feel about last night's victory over the Milwaukee Bucks?
I felt amazing. I love watching the Bulls do the Bulls things. Lose to the team they should win against, win against the team they should lose against. It's just who we are. It's what we do. But they played great basketball. You really saw what the Bulls are trying to do. Right? They covered each other on defense. They played Giannis in a way that slowed him down a lot of the game. And then on the offensive end, they got up shots. Like, this is one of those teams that you do not expect to pull up for 48 3-point shots in a game just to do it, right? But also just seeing Vooch shoot made my heart a little happy.
Yeah,
Like,
seeing him shoot at a high rate, yes, that definitely was good, man. The way because he last season, if he made one three, that was the only three he was gonna make. It was
I might
crazy
give you
to
two.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. But one of the craziest stats is that pretty much everybody was a plus minus on the court last night, with the exception of Matis and Taylor Tucker got a minute, and so he was -2. They scored when he got out there. Okay, but everybody else was a plus minus. Man, the Bulls did not get into foul trouble. And one big thing that they didn't do yesterday that they did do in Game One was turn the ball over. They protected the ball. They had less than 10 turnovers. Steve-O, how you feeling about the way the Bulls protected the basketball last night?
I mean, I feel overall good because I knew this was the avenue of a possibility of a team that we could see in the future with a DeMarless team. Like, I just felt like that's what we was going to see. Um, to the turnovers point, like it was just a simple thing. We talked about it last episode. Stop leaving your feet every time you try to make a pass. We didn't see that yesterday. Every time we made a pass, it was either a kick out or it was if we did leave our feet, it was a clear kick out to the corner or back to the top of the key. But even then, we limit those times when we left our feet. We was way more meticulous with the ball, and that's what we want. Billy Donovan actually been coaching pretty well with this squad, and I just think with I've been harping on with DeMar DeRozan not on this team, it's way more difficult to scout this team. It was way more easier to scout a team with DeMar DeRozan on this team because you already know what it is. We're gonna play 2004 basketball. He gonna occupy the mid range, and he gonna get majority of the touches. And once we if we shut everybody else down, and he scored 30, that's the way to stop us, and that's the way we did it. And because the spacing was so weird with him as well, the other players like Boo, Zach, Kobe couldn't go off the way they wanted to. Now that he's gone, the spacing is opening up. Vooch is able to occupy that mid as well as Zach is able to occupy that mid range a little bit more. Now that he's gone, the spacing, people are moving without the ball. We're moving up the floor quicker. And that's just the thing where you just take somebody completely off this team and go to the point that we need to revamp.
You're talking about addition by subtraction. Last night,
Perfectly.
Josh Giddey, and he looked really good last night. 17 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Played within the flow of the offense, and also more importantly, played within the flow himself and hit two threes, two big threes at that. One of the threes was from the corner, and it just looked good. He looked like he's not afraid to shoot, and that's something that's going to get better as he grows up in the NBA. But one of the things that we were kind of worried about yesterday was how would this team look without Lonzo Ball? How would they do their rotations? And we got a steady dose of Dalen Terry and Ayo Dosumu. The Dalen gave you 12 minutes last night, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, just only 3 points. But he was your irritant out there, like he's wanting to do. He's Crash Bandicoot. And then you also had Ayo Dosumu uptick a little bit in his minutes, 28 minutes, plus 10 on the plus minus, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, but he didn't give you much offensively. 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from three. I don't expect it to look like that for the rest of the season. But Q, how did you feel that these guys stepped up in the absence of Lonzo Ball?
I mean, they did their job. They played defense. They got teammates involved. They covered the shooting that you're missing, right? And that's what the question is Lonzo's your best passer, your best shooter, your best defensive player, and your best IQ on the team. So if he's not there, who's taking those things? Can you replicate what he brings to a game as a team? Sometimes it's going to be multiple players doing it. Sometimes you're going to have one player doing it. But the Bulls did a good job. Iowa was getting to the rim. He took shots confidently. He didn't make a lot. He also missed all of his threes. But to be able to have a team be active, do the right things, that's what you're looking for. And honestly, we also got to give a shout out to the person where, honestly, we have been talking about him for the last 2 years. We got to give him some credit. Patrick Williams looked aggressive this game.
Oh yeah, he did look aggressive, and I was surprised honestly, because I feel like they probably got on his ass. His teammates was like, "Fam, what you doing, bro? This is your time to step up." P. Will gave us 5 for 11 from the field in 36 minutes, 2 for 4 from three, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, no blocks, only 1 turnover, and that's big for that guy, man. We're not expecting Patrick Williams to be an all-star by any stretch of the imagination, but 13-5, 15-5, that's kind of around what Bulls fans expect from him on a night in, night out basis. Can we depend on you to be one of those other guys to pick up the scoring slack, especially when Kobe White and Zach LaVine inevitably go through shooting slumps? It's going to happen all season. One of those guys or both of those guys, God forbid, both of those guys in the same game are going to have a shooting slump, and we need somebody else that we can go to and lean on, especially that 2 dribble mid-range pull-up that he's been working on over the last couple of seasons. How you feeling about P. Will's game last night, Steve-O?
I don't know if y'all saw the last thing he did yesterday, but it was a rebound. And he got it with one hand and he looked like he jumped over everybody on his team. And I screamed and I said, that right there, it shows me there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to average 15 points a game just by doing dirty work, just doing easy work. It's all about 1-2 when it comes to P. Will at the end of the day, because he has the talent to be a good player. If you really wanted to, a great player. It's all about want to and just him being aggressive. I would way rather him jack than him just sitting there not seeing what he could become a part of this game in some sorts of fashion. But to see him to get some shots up, he was letting that three fly, and he was taking some mid-range shots as well as going to the hole at times. That's all we can ask from P. Will at this point.
I agree with you. I agree with you, man. Big win for the Chicago Bulls last night. They have their home opening tonight versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. So if you guys want any type of analysis on that one, head on over to Chicago Bulls Central. And also log in, if you ain't did so yet, Follow the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys, C Dub and Bobby. C Dub does an amazing job live calling every Chicago Bulls game. Myself, Steve and Bobby also pop in. Well, Bobby's always there, but Steve and myself, we pop in as often as we can. So join this crew, the crew tonight as we call the Chicago Bulls versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Which I just real briefly, how y'all feeling about tonight's matchup versus the SGA and the rest of those guys? Because and I believe this is Giddy's first time seeing his former team, and we got Caruso in the building tonight.
Giddy and Caruso, I'm about to say
Yeah.
it's a family reunion up in this motherfucker. But yeah, like you just got to bring the same type of intensity and want and wherewithal that you brung in that bus game. If you a lot of the things we seen last year and just the Bulls of the last 3 seasons is they have a game where they go up against the team they have no business beating. They beat them and they use all their energy. In the next 3 games, they not the same. That you kind of with this young team with the legs that we got, along with Booch being kind of like the when I say all oddball, I'm not saying in a negative light. I'm saying the oddball because everybody else is fast, but because he can mix up the play so much, he could trail, he could go to the straight to the lane. He can do a lot of things within this offense. Like it's a team you can beat. I have 100% capability and things that I think they could beat the OKC, but it's all about 1-2, and they have. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, you just gotta show me that you want to, and that's the one thing they haven't shown that they're constantly and consistently on the same level each and every game.
Last night, you only had one player play above 35 minutes. That was Patrick Williams. Josh Giddey only played 24 minutes, which should be a good thing. Q, how you feeling about the Bulls' legs tonight?
Honestly, I don't. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it matters. I think it's gonna be one of those games. OKC is probably a harder team for us to defend than the Bucks. They're more spread out. They work as a team a little bit better. They're not as top heavy. And then Alex. Alex gonna shut us down. Like he knows how to play defense. I feel like the Bulls are gonna underestimate this team's defense with the OKC Thunder. They have one of the best defenses in the league, and they have the players to keep going as fast as possible. And my big question is, who's gonna stop Chet? Because Vooch isn't.
Yeah,
Patrick
Chet.
Williams
Hell
too
no,
short.
he ain't.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
It's going to be a stop check by committee. You might even see Adamas Nogu as the Bulls get into foul trouble later tonight. So Adama, get ready, my guy. Start wiping off the bottom of them shoes, my guy.
mhm.
It's going to be a fun game regardless, man. I don't think the Bulls have the luxury of underestimating any team in any capacity. All right, y'all. So head on over to Chicago Bulls Central for any more updates and analysis on the Chicago Bulls. Moving on to the Chicago Bears, man. Going against the Washington Commanders, who have their fair share of injuries themselves. Their left tackle is out for the game, so the defensive line is looking to feast on whichever quarterback is out there, whether it's Mariota or Jaden Daniels. However, the Chicago Bears will be without Javon Brisker and Kyler Gordon, and both of these guys have been having phenomenal seasons to start the year. The entire Bears secondary has been doing really, really, really good work out there. So next up is Elijah Hicks, and then of course you still got Kevin Byard out there, and Tyreek Stevenson. I'm guessing is going to be out there as well. How you guys feeling about the Chicago Bears secondary down 2 major starters in the defensive backfield?
It's gonna be fun to watch, see what they do. I mean, they're definitely missing a piece. Kyler Gordon's really good at hitting that blitz. Not having him on the field is definitely going to change you up a little bit. Um, I think we have enough depth in our defense to make up for it. At least it's not something where it's one of our receivers being out and we're kind of screwed. But yeah, I mean, the Bears are just gonna have to focus. They got depth. The next man up got to step up. You got to do your job. You got to play smart. And luckily, we have a defensive coach. We can make adjustments. We have someone who whole point of being here is to fix the defense. So if you are known for being a defensive mastermind, you got to figure it out. That's just how it's gonna go. Play game as usual.
It's crazy to think that Brisker is still in concussion protocol though. Like my guy, it's
Did you
been
see him almost
yeah,
decapitate somebody? Why are we so shocked? He almost, bro.
yeah.
I've
I
I've
get it.
I've seen somebody get knocked out like that since 1985.
He wasn't even bored. But
Exactly. I'd go, bro. What was the safety back? The old school safety
Ronnie Lott.
for the Raiders. Is his name Ronnie
Oh
Lott?
no, I thought you was talking about for the San Francisco. Wasn't oh no,
The
that was the
old
Bears for Ronnie
school.
Lott.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But he was real. He was almost dirty. People used to call him dirty, but it is what it is. But
They was all
yeah,
dirty. They was all RKOing people back in the day, Jack. They was setting them up,
he.
holding them up.
Nah, I see him of a straight up clothesline from hell. Somebody, I was like,
I-
I know that's not legal. I
Hey, it
just know
was
that's
back.
not legal.
Hey,
But
football was legal back in the
yeah, but
day.
when it comes to the secondary, like this secondary has shown that the death piece can mimic as much as possible, not to the top degree of a Kyler Gordon and a Brisker, but they can mimic to the best of their ability, and they can play a solid game on their own. And that'd be different if the past few years with the depth piece, it was a completely different team. It's not a completely different team with them being now. We didn't see these the last few games, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Hicks filled in admirably last game. For Brisk for was it for Brisker? And he did have 5 tackles on a fumble recovery, pass breakup. So, and that pass breakup was real nice, by the way. So he's gonna go out there and do his job. Now, I don't know too much about Josh Blackwell, but he came in for Gordon last night and did his thing as well, and he had an interception. So the Chicago Bears showed in the preseason that we don't care if we making this team or not. We gonna play our asses off on the defense. Period. Everybody went out there and played defense. So we would be coached up to play good defense out there. We don't. None of us play football. So I just feel confident, supremely confident, in how these coaches are going to have these guys prepared, and having a bye week after that London game helps as well. So they've known for the last week and a half, or the last 2 weeks even, what their role was going to be. It's not like they woke up this morning like, hey, you're in. So they know what they got to do, man. So if you guys want to hear anything else about the Chicago Bears, big game tomorrow afternoon versus the Washington Commanders over on CBS, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go head over to Chicago Bears Central, where your boy Hayes, C Dub, and Bobby host. Uh, uh, I said Steve O, C Dub and Bobby host. Steve O and myself pop in as well, and we will see pregame and post game tomorrow, as well as the live call with C Dub Sunday afternoon, man. So if y'all ain't following Chicago Bear Central, what's wrong with you? All right,
You
moving moving right along, man. It's about to be a quick episode. The Chicago Blackhawks lose last night, like last night's game, man, 3-2. They had their chances, Steve-O. They had their chances, but they just did not get the job done, and they fall. They're on a losing streak now, man. That's what I'm not liking. I don't want to see them go on losing streaks. And unfortunately, last night they lost, I believe, their third straight game. Um, they're now 2-5-1, and they're 3-0. No, they're 1-3 at home now. It was 2-1. I'm sorry, it's 2-2 in the third period when they gave up a big goal to lose the game in a shorthanded situation. Like the Nashville Predators were shorthanded. The Blackhawks were on the power play, and they still ended up giving up the goal. How we feeling about the Blackhawks loss last night?
I mean, they have the tendency to, I don't know, like, I feel like it's kind of improvement there, but at the end of the day, like, the teams they're losing against are kind of around the same market. So it's kind of tell you, like, we're still a bottom level team, but we're right there. Like, we ain't completely getting blown out against these teams. Like, if you go against the Shark, like, we beat the Sharks 4-2, we beat the Oilers 5-2, but we lost to the Flames like 1-3. We lost to, the Predators last night 2-3. The game before that, we lost to Canucks 3-6, which is a little bit better team in the hockey. But
Nah, yeah, that
everybody else,
Vancouver game was a blowout. It was worse than
yeah,
that
that's what I said.
3-6.
That it was bad. It was bad. That was probably the only bad thing. But that's actually probably one of the best teams they played in the last week. But so I think it's just to show us that we got a lot of work to do. We really got a
And
lot of work to do, and it
the,
makes sense that they was having that discussion of making moves as of early as 5, 6, 7 games in because they clearly know it's some needs around this team that can help immediately.
Yeah, and they're not nasty enough from what I saw last night. These guys, they only had 10 hits, Q. 10 hits. The other team had 21. So they're not rough enough, and we know that hockey is football on ice. You got to go out there, you got to hit people, you got to make it nasty.
Mm.
And right now they're being a little bit too passive. So tell me, Q, just real quickly, you think the Blackhawks can bounce back from these last couple of games?
I mean, the Blackhawks are a young team. They can definitely bounce back. When you look at it though, like the big thing, they were the first 30 minutes they were playing pretty okay. They kind of got
Mm-hmm.
wore down. They got wore down, which happens. So you can tell that they need a little bit of more cardio, things like that. And they had a chance to score a third goal, right? That offsides with the T dude that you were talking about yesterday, whose name
Yeah,
is that
he long
TT.
ass hit.
I'm gonna call him TT because it's two T's.
Yeah,
He,
Tavarian,
yes.
I think his name is.
yeah, well, I ain't trying to.
TT suck. That's the end. That's where y'all need to come. TT been
Yeah.
trash.
But I mean, him doing all that cost you your third goal, so that's a big turn in the thing. But like I said, they're a young team. Young teams are learning. There's always a chance when you're young that you can step back, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, they were winning 2-0, and then they gave up 2 goals to in the second period to have a tie game, and they ended up giving up the game winning goal with about 6.5 minutes to go. So, hey, we're gonna be paying attention to this young Blackhawks team. This is the first time that I've been paying real close attention to the Blackhawks since Patrick Kane and all of them were here, and they were young too, Jonathan Taves, and they put it together. And
Quinn was here.
I never forget where I was when they won that first championship because it was questioned about if the goal even went in, but I saw it.
I saw it.
I
I
saw
was
it.
like, I was at that motherfucker. That's a goddamn goal. Sound the goddamn buzzer. Sound the
I
alarm,
was running
motherfucker.
around screaming, and my friends was looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Hey man, we just
Bro,
won
we
that."
just won. And
That's
So,
then I was even more geek when we won. What 2 years after that?
yeah, they won 3 and 5 years, so it was a good stretch.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want to hear anything else about the Chicago Blackhawks, head on over to Chicago Blackhawks Central, man. Go ahead, like,
Oh,
subscribe. Those guys, Skulls over there, just take Scopes over there taking care of business, man. So if y'all ain't following them, man, you bogus, bro. You dead wrong. All right, close out this show. We ain't got no Cubs news, no White Sox news, no Sky news, but we got college football today. We got the #1 overall team, Oregon Ducks, welcoming the
man, so
Fighting
proud of you.
Illini, 6-1, Fighting Illini to Eugene, Oregon for a rumble. Let's get it. You got Steve Dub, you got Steve O. They ready to have a knockdown, drag them out broadcast this afternoon right here on Chi-Town Sports Central. In fact, let me go ahead and change the colors real quick. Fighting Illini colors real quick up there in the right-hand corner. You know what
that's
I'm
definitely
saying?
bear. Nigga, not fighting like that.
That's the Fighting
You slick
Illini
as
colors
you
right
slick
now,
as hell for that. You
baby.
slick as hell for that.
It's about to go down tonight, man, this afternoon. And honestly, the real question is if the Fighting Illini really have a fighting chance. We already know what it means to go against the #1 team in the country, whether it's Alabama, whether it's Georgia, and today is going to be the Oregon Ducks. Listen, hey, the Fighting line out in Illinois, they surprising me a little bit. I ain't gonna even front. They surprising you. They play it's good defense when they need to. They play good offense when they need to. But unfortunately for them, they don't really truly have an identity. They really don't. Are they a passing team? I don't know.
Mm,
Are they a rushing team? Who knows? There's
man.
a lot of balance out there. They can hold you
Yeah,
to
defensive
15.
squad, I can say that.
Exactly, bro. They can hold you to 15, or they can give up 49 like they did against a bad Purdue team. So it is what it is. But do they have a chance today? That remains to be seen. Because I'm not finna let Steve-O sit
Yeah.
up here and just talk about the blowout that he thinks about to happen.
I mean, all BS aside, like this is the team. I mean, this is a very important game in Illinois history because coming off a big win of Michigan, this could be the landslide to change your future for years to come because you already got like you beat Michigan, you beat them handily. If you come out here and not get blown out by Oregon, you're gonna be looked at as a respected football school now. and in the Big Ten at that. So with that being said, you're gonna get some of these recruits that don't work out in Florida, that don't work out in Bama, that don't work out in LSU, and that's how you build up in this modern day of college football in 2024. That's the type of way you kind of build up your franchise because it's already difficult. You're not gonna it's very difficult to build your way back up to being a top five recruiter where you're up there with Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma. It's like it's just those schools notoriously for the last 20 years, they have the top classes. So in order for Illinois to get that recognition and get the eyes on them for other recruits to come there, mainly transfers, they have to look good against these big schools.
Now,
Now they did it once again. Go ahead.
Brett Bielema is going to have these guys ready. Even though the final score against Penn State was 21-7, it was a close game the whole game until they just botched the situation where they could have tied the game and they just kept going backwards and backwards and backwards, and that led to them not getting up any points. And that was pretty much all she wrote. They couldn't put the ball in the end zone versus them. They cannot afford to allow that to happen today versus Oregon. If you want to compete, you got to score touchdowns, not field goals. You got to score touchdowns. And you also have to win the turnover battle, and that's just something Oregon doesn't do. They don't turn the ball over. They don't throw
And
interceptions.
you better
So
and you better stop the run.
yes,
That's the best bet.
yeah, because if you
Because
turn it into a
in
passing
my
game,
opinion, this is the best O line we probably had in school's history.
we by Oregon, and he's an Oregon fan. So when he say
Yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah.
he means them. So Q, you got any thoughts on the Illinois versus Oregon game today?
Yeah, I mean, like what Steve said, it's important. When you look at it, this isn't college football. It's not Madden. People don't just choose you because they're in your area,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They choose you because you are known for a team that hey, I might have a chance at winning, right? A lot of people who go to college football don't expect to make the league. They trying to go to a team where they expect that they can win some games, have some good memories. So you got to become that team for people. That's how you take that first step to becoming a championship team. Now, I'm gonna be on the other side. I'm be with Steve-O's side. I've been an Oregon fan since I was a kid. That's my team on college football. It's who I choose. So
I
I'm
knew
about
I
to
fucked with you.
I'm about to go to Chinatown and have me some Peking duck right now. What y'all talking
but I,
Hey, it ain't gonna be the
about?
same. No, we daffy in this bitch.
but yeah, I'm just like that's been my team. I haven't watched college football as much, but there's something about just Oregon that just the
Nike.
jerseys, the atmosphere. It's a good overall thing to look at.
Y'all hate because
Um,
we got Jersey. I don't know why y'all.
well,
First of all, it's a lot because of Oregon. I feel like the whole landscape of college football. Everybody got hella jerseys now. If you really pay attention.
I was just pointing out what he said. I don't know. It's something about Oregon, and as soon as I said Nike, he said jerseys
No, but so
simultaneously.
it's winning culture. Fuck you talking about?
I said Nike. He said jerseys at the same time. I wasn't hating.
well, the jerseys are the big thing. Like a lot of people love, but a lot of kids who started looking at Oregon, it was because of the jerseys.
I say, yeah,
And Daffy
around the
Duck,
time.
the mascot.
That's why the Eagles got so many fans. Because when you used to play Madden, you went to the Eagles just so you could wear the damn jersey.
No,
I did love
I
that.
went to the Eagles because of Donovan McNabb. He was my guy.
I had Brian Dawkins smacking motherfuckers. That's why I went to the Eagles.
That was
So,
fun too, and
but
Deuce McAllister too. Man. It was
yeah,
fun.
Deuce McAllister underrated back. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, it got something to do with the jerseys. Like me personally, like I said, when I started in '08, the jerseys wasn't that good, and even now, like I'm not the new green home fly jersey. I'm not a fan of them. So like this was the first year I'm like, yeah, y'all kind of tweaked on it. Like we're kind of doing like a throwback, and I'm not really a big fan of the throwback. So yeah.
Well, hey, anything can happen. We've seen college football this season, just in general. All the number one teams have lost so far this season. So anything can happen. Anything is possible. So fighting the line out, going out there and put up some fight, and don't lose bad if you're gonna lose. I guess lose good is an oxymoron, but that's what I'm gonna say. Lose good.
And
And,
regardless
and,
to that, shout out to them. Like we don't talk about it enough. These are a lot of these kids aren't gonna go anywhere. Like shout out to
yeah,
them for having this opportunity, this memory to like, yo, like they're gonna be, 46. Talking about I remember when I played for the Illini, we beat Michigan. We were that team. Like they're gonna have that memory the rest of their life. And that's something that you can't really
no,
take
for real.
away.
Amen.
especially their quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. All right, y'all, man. We're gonna wrap it up. It's a good Saturday morning. Go outside, do something, touch grass.
It's
Don't sit in
cold.
the house all day. Do something. Take a walk around the block.
Or go
Go
to work.
don't DoorDash your blunts. Go buy some blunts. And then we gonna holler at y'all, man. We appreciate you.
Hey, this
Go
nigga
ahead.
just told my boy that.
Hey, we appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given the entire Shot Town Sports family, whether it's right here on Shot Town Sports Central, where we just rolling, baby. We got a nice little momentum over here, especially since Q came along. We can't let the light skin do outshine us. You feel me? And then we
On me.
also got NBA Central, where we've been holding it down over there, and then Chicago Bulls, Bears, Sky, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox Central, and the Shot Bulls podcast with the Cognac Gang, C Dub, and Bobby, for Steve O Speaks, and Quentin. It's your boy, Big Kev. We go holler at you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.